Hi, my name is John Kim, and I'm a therapist who went through his own rebirth. I share my feelings and revelations. I believe in casual over clinical and with you instead of at you. I come unrehearsed on purpose because self help doesn't have to be so complicated. So I'm literally walking as I talk to you. I have my ear pods in, and I decided to do a podcast, a 10-minute podcast, while I walk and talk. So I want to talk about love. Of course, there's a part of me that is afraid, like most people, to put my heart out there because it could get shattered. Um, but there's this other part of me that is kind of growing that is almost like love come at me, you know, like come at me, like shatter me, hurt me, make me feel alive. And I know you guys think I'm crazy. And I wonder if it is because my heart has been shattered, and I've already been there. And there's something about the getting up, the climb, the soil that a broken heart creates. Um, I think that's why I relate to that movie Fight Club so much. Like, I get, not that I want to be punched in the face, but I get that kind of feeling of being pushed down or starting over. It's kind of been the pattern of my life, and it's also what I gravitate toward when I'm doing fitness. I try to get to that place as fast as I can and then challenge myself to get comfortable when you can't breathe and when you feel like you're dying, and you climb up or you stand up or you're on your knees. And I get a high. I get a high of the stand. I get a high of the the unwillingness to stay down, I guess. And so when it comes to love, I got to be honest with you, I'm not afraid of getting hurt, and uh, I I almost encourage it. I almost you know what I am afraid of is I am afraid of hurting other people. That crushes me. I've hurt people in the past. When you leave a relationship, or it's the most difficult when there's nothing really wrong, but chemistry has faded or something has happened. And I know I write about chemistry fading not being enough to leave something, but for whatever reason, you decide that it's the relationship has expired, and you leaving. For me, that's difficult. For me, that is lined with guilt and wondering, if I could have done more. Like, that stuff really crushes me. But rejection or someone hurting me, of course, I'm human and it hurts me. But I don't know. I've become kind of fearless in that way, and I wonder if it's like someone who is a who jumps off cliffs, or who jumps out of planes. At some point it just becomes a thing and they're no longer afraid, but they actually start leaning into it. um and I wonder if it's like that. I wonder if the process of loving, the highs and the lows, and eventually a relationship expiring and being hurt, um is accepted as the journey, and every time that it happens, you become less afraid. Um, and I don't know if that's a choice. I don't know why I feel this way. And I know that many of you guys might be rolling your eyes saying you're full of shit. I get that because this is not normal. I don't will, I'm not saying that I want my heart to get shattered. I'm just saying that there's a big part of me that is not afraid to love. And the more I talk to people about love and relationships and dating, I just find that so many people are afraid. So many people are afraid to show themselves or to invest because they're very protective of their heart, as they should be. And I never could relate to that because I'm a little bit weird, and maybe something happened after my divorce where um, I hit the kind of pain where um, I I am no longer that it no longer has power over me, meaning that I could go there again Not that I want to, but I can go there again knowing that everything's going to be okay, knowing that it's part of the human process and it's part of love, you know? Um, so, anyway, that is what I'm thinking about at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night as I go for my little walk. And I guess the message here is, what if you guys leaned into being less afraid? What if you saw love as a journey and not something that is um, in cement, but something that is dynamic, and that part of that dynamic, part of that journey is pain, is heartbreak, and facing it and running toward it and telling love to come at you. Um, what would that look like? What would that look like in your relationship if you did that? What would it look like in your dating experience? I mean, the question is basically, what would it look like for you to love fearlessly? And I think the reason why, for me, um, I tend to do that is because I have this belief that if you don't love on that level, if you don't love fearlessly, then you're not going to hit the high notes, right? So, like, if you love with fear, if you love with ambivalence, if you kind of love and not love, and it's kind of contingent on on your fears and how, if you're not all in, I don't think the rewards, I don't think the value, I don't think the imprint is going to be deep, And I think, like, with me, it's I'm all or nothing. With me, it's like, um, I don't want to be in something where it's lukewarm, and I know that in order for it to be potent, and I don't, and you never know how long relationships are going to last. That's just the way it is. But in order to get as maximize love and the experience as much as you can, you have to do it without fear. Um, and even though you have been hurt before, and maybe you can't even control that, it shakes you to just even the thought of opening up, and terrifies you. Even with that, knowing all that, to push through and to choose to love fearlessly, um, I think that's where you'll create new experiences, new imprints, new depths. Now, I'm not saying to just love anyone fearlessly. Of course, choose wisely and make sure that there's an authentic connection and someone is worth investing in, that someone actually deserves you and everything you bring to the table. But when you do find that person, or if you're with that person now, there's probably a part of you that is afraid to love fearlessly, and maybe there's conflict, maybe there's doubt, maybe there's stuff going on in your relationship that is unresolved. But loving fearlessly also means forgiveness. Loving fearlessly also means compassion and empathy, and seeing love and the relationship greater than you. And I think a lot of people, when they put fear first, then what they're doing is in a way, they are, yes, they're protecting themselves, but in a way, they're in a relationship where it centers around them instead of the relationship being bigger than them, right? So that's the other piece of this, is when you love without fear, you are actually extremely selfless, because you are um, making whatever you're investing in greater than you, right? Of course, at the risk of getting hurt, but you are saying, I'm going to put my fears aside because I want to build something with you, and whatever I'm building is bigger than me. It's almost like a self-sacrifice. It's almost like, and I know that definitely doesn't sound healthy, I get it, but it's almost like, um, I'm willing to put my ego, my feelings, my hurt on the side because I believe in something greater that we can build. you know? And so in order to do that, we have to move past fear. We have to smile at fear and say, love, come at me. Um, and I know it's hard, but I encourage you guys to lean into it and try it. I know that that will bear more fruit, bring you more joy, more connection, and set yourself up for an experience maybe that you've never had before. Basically, I'm encouraging you guys to love hard.
Hey, if you have a passion to help others and want to become a life coach, or you just want to acquire tools to change your own life, learn more about our Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive. We are an evidence-based training program with an amazing, authentic, vibrant community, and we give lifetime support. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, and click on Life Coach Training. Hey, before you go, if you like my ramblings and revelations and shares, I am now texting people directly to their phone. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com. If you want to subscribe, I'll be doing weekly text, 5 days a week, reminders, and also mindsets and exercises and challenges. And every week there will be a different theme, a different topic. So I hope to see you in your phone. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, I hope you help me spread the dialogue and help other people by sharing it. You never know what people need to hear. So if it's helped you, I hope you can help me help others.